We're in Norway. You know what that means.
Hello, Norway.
Hello everyone, I am Tessellating Hexagons, and around this time last year, I did a vlog completely shirtless. Later on in that year, I looked back on that vlog and thought, why did I do that shirtless? That was dumb, that was a bad idea, why did I do that? It's now rolled back around to that time of year again this year, and I suddenly realise, no, it was justified. British summers are weird. Like, seriously, at the end of April we had snow, as you will have seen in my Vader videos, because I kept getting distracted by it because it snowed, and then a week later we had a bloody heatwave, and now the weather has no idea what to do with itself. Anyway, as you can sort of tell, I've kind of put off this month's vlog for quite a while for no good reason, really. Although I have said before, it's better if I leave my monthly vlogs towards the end of the month, because then I can actually vlog about the month, rather than, ooh, this is gonna happen this month, provides no evidence of the thing happening. So, I'm filming this on the 28th, it should go up on the 29th, we'll see what happens. I don't want to overload you with videos, says the guy who does Vader every single year. Anyway, there's not too much to report, apart from the fact that I went to Eurovision with Europe's Gallo 8 this year. Well, she actually came to stay with us for a whole week, and going to Eurovision was a part of that. But first of all, she came to stay with us for a couple of days. We went to Guildford briefly. Here's some stuff of us there. I don't think we took any videos, but we did take some pictures, so enjoy those while they're on screen. We saw a couple of ducks. Well, there were only 2 ducks, and they were both male, so we instantly started shipping them with each other, and that was in the exact same area where, if you've been watching my Master Quest series that's running at the time of recording this vlog, then you'll know that Europe's Gallo 8 and I, at some point, encountered a child, or a toddler, who ran up to a fence and then started crying because there was a fence. Yeah, that was that fence there, in that park. Well, castle grounds, whatever. So that was there, on that trip, at that time. Obviously that's not the main focus of this month's vlog though, because Eurovision was a thing. I'm not entirely sure how to break up this section because we've got a whole load of photos, a whole load of videos, and there's no way I'm going to show you all of them because, well, for one, some of them were just photos for personal use. No, they're not pornographic, calm your tits. It's just stuff like filming the fake voting process from the jury final because I wanted to see how that worked. You know, it was general curiosity on my part that isn't really worth showing because it won't add any nutritional value to this video. So before I get going with that slew of footage and footage? Stuff that Europe's Gallo 8 and I caught on camera, I will prelude it all by saying that, you see that Croatian flag just there? I bought that at the jury final, and Europe's Gallo 8 got a Cypriot one. Yeah. So with that preface out of the way, roll on the footage from our hectic couple of days break in Stockholm, which was a fun time, I can assure you. Hi. It's me. But seriously though, look at this. This is just my room. Just look at this. We're in... Okay, back up a second. We're in Sweden. This is my room. Lozzie's here with me. She's got her own room, and it's like this one, but backwards, I assume. But just look at this. Look at all this space. I have 2 beds. And a TV. I mean, okay, that part shouldn't be too surprising. This is Sweden after all. And then there's a bathroom as well. They really do spoil you here in Sweden. Why is the bathroom... Well, 2 beds, that's the point here. And tea. My cup runneth over.
Oh my gosh!
Look at this stuff. I like this view. I'm happy with it.
Yes.
Hit me.
Hit me.
Here we go. This one's, yeah, just a little bit of the magic of the journey to the arena on my phone. God, look at this shit. Advantage of being tall. Live your life instead. Sun is shining, brings me all joy and hope and light. Even though these rules they try to take over me, try to take over me. I see massive walls weighing down people all around. Ooh yeah. They don't seem to mind at all, and I will try to stand my ground, won't be bound. Bring out the best in me. I don't know if you can see, but we're at Eurovision the party, just like we said we would be.
Oh my gosh!
It's like that one time in March we're doing it again when we're at a Eurovision finger exercise. Ah, my hat.
Mine now.
Francesca, why?
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go again, and this time with sound!
Now I'm just going to dive in at this point in the slideshow, as it were, to highlight these two photos while we were at Eurovision the party, because we went to the jury final on the Friday, and then on the Saturday we went to the Tele2 Arena, which is next door to where Eurovision was happening, where they were having Eurovision the party, which was, they screened the show on this huge screen in the Tele2 Arena, and there were people there, and people were dancing and singing and just generally watching the show, and then there was a pre-show thing and a post-show thing, and fun times were had. Anyway, while we were there, this Swedish chap came up to us. His name was David, or possibly David, but he pronounced it David, so hello if you're watching. He came up to us because I was waving a Croatian flag, and obviously Laura had the Cypriot flag, and he asked, were we from those countries? And we explained that, no, we just really like their songs. And he said, oh, do you not like the UK song? I'm like, yeah, it's in our top 10, but we like these songs even better. And so we got talking, or as close to talking as you can do when there's this huge screen blaring out Eurovision at you. And, well, I got to briefly advertise my channel, because I was wearing my Tessellating shirt at the time. I unzipped my jacket and just, look, I have a logo on my shirt, go and check out my YouTube. And I ended up taking a couple of selfies with him, and we were introduced to a couple of his friends. I think his brother, whose name I don't think we were introduced to, plus two ladies named Anna and Johanna, and I don't remember their connection. I don't know whether they were female friends or if one of them was his brother's wife. I know David's wife wasn't there because he was going to look up my channel on his phone, then he realized his battery was dying, and he said, okay, I probably shouldn't use internet on my phone because otherwise my phone will die, and then I can't phone my wife to let her know where I am when I'm leaving. I don't know how I remember so much from that encounter, but I will cherish it, I'm sure, because that's as close as I'm ever going to get to being recognised in the street, apparently. So, to recap the events that happened then, Europe Scale 8 arrived. One of the days she was here, we went to Guildford. I keep wanting to say Reading, but no, we went to Guildford. Then there were the semi-finals on the Tuesday and the Thursday. We watched those, we reacted to those live, as you will have seen in my post-show reviews. You won't have seen my... yes, watch me react to qualifiers that haven't happened yet in my pre-show reviews. We live reacted to the qualifiers, and then on the Thursday we had to go straight to bed after the show so we could get up at silly o'clock in the morning to catch our flight to Stockholm. We flew to Stockholm, and craziness ensued. You will have seen my reaction to getting into our rooms, because, okay, it was kind of a fun time it was a bit of a faff getting to Sweden, because we had to get up at silly o'clock in the morning, like I said, to catch a flight from Heathrow Airport. We landed at Arlanda in Stockholm, that's one of the airports of Stockholm. And after a considerable amount of faff, we got to our hotel, only to be told, yo, we can't let you check into your room until 2 p.m. And at that time it was like 10, 11 in the morning. And they said, yo, we can't guarantee that we can give you rooms until 2 p.m. So we just sort of sat in the hotel lobby for a couple of hours because, bearing in mind, this hotel is an airport hotel. It's like 3/4 of an hour away from Stockholm city centre. So our options were either wait in the hotel lobby until the rooms were available and then do hotel room things, unpack and stuff. Well, not unpack, but, get settled in. Or go back to take the shuttle bus back to the airport, then take the airport shuttle bus into the city centre, which is a 90-minute trip there and back. Do some city centre stuff, come back, check in, sort out our bags, sort out that day's video, because, yes, I was able to do videos while I was there, and I'm still impressed that I was able to keep up with my flow of videos despite being in Stockholm. But yeah, our option was either spend 90 minutes travelling to Stockholm city centre and back and kill some time in the city centre, come back, unpack, go back to the airport, go back to the city centre, and then get ready for the jury final, or just hang out in the hotel lobby for a couple of hours, then get settled into the hotel room, and then go to the airport, get the shuttle bus into the city centre, and then get to Globen, the arena, and watch the jury final. Because we left on stupid o'clock in the morning on the Friday, so that we could get to Sweden in time to see the jury final, which was on the night of the Friday, so it was very hectic. And then there was some stuff that I'd rather not talk about that was rather faffy, which involved getting back to the hotel from the jury final after it ended, because apparently the entirety of Stockholm city centre shuts down after 10 p.m. That was not a fun time. So we got back to the hotel, had about 2 hours sleep. Okay, it was a bit more than that. In fact, it was a lot more than that, because we got back at, I want to say, 3 or 4 in the morning, and of course we went straight to bed upon return, because we needed sleep. This was the only sleep we'd be able to get on that trip. Europe Scale 08 got up earlier than I did. She went downstairs and had breakfast, and I didn't. I was just completely shattered because I don't know, I'm just I would say I'm a heavy sleeper, but when it comes to sleepovers, like, if I'm sleeping in the same room with someone else, I'll always be the last one to fall asleep and the first one to wake up. But I am prone to sleeping. End of sentence. I'm just really good at sleeping in, and really bad at getting out of bed, especially because the beds in those hotel rooms were very, very comfortable. So I ended up sleeping in an extra couple of hours, and Europe Scale 08 brought me like a pain au chocolat or some sort of pastry from the breakfast buffet, so that was nice of her. And then the Saturday was a bit more relaxed, because we knew how to get to the arena, and because the Tele2 arena is just over the road from, well, it's not even over the road, it's like 50 meters, if that, from Globen, so we knew how to get to where we were going, so we were a lot more chill about getting to Eurovision the party on the second day. What we ended up doing was chilling in the hotel rooms for most of the afternoon, just so I could get that day's video done, and then we got the bus into Stockholm city centre. At that point it was about 5:30, and our tickets for Eurovision the party said that the doors open at 6. And I pointed out to Laura, well, we don't really need to worry about that, because yeah, the doors open at 6, but the show itself doesn't start until 9. So we were a lot more relaxed about, we got into the city centre, we had dinner at a Pizza Hut. You will have seen footage of that. And then I think we finished dinner about 6 o'clock, and then we started to make our way to the train that takes us to the Globe Arena and the Tele2 Arena, and we managed to get into the Tele2 Arena just as the show of the party was starting, because the way the party was structured was the doors open at 6, but then at about 7 or 7:30, that's when the pre-show performances start, because they had a couple of artists come and perform. So Oscar Zia, Danny Saucedo, Sauce Dough, him. And I think Loreen was there, Carola Hegqvist was there, I think. That was Carola, wasn't it? I think it was. So there were some pre-show performances, then 9 o'clock Swedish time rolled around, they showed the show, and then there was after Ukraine had won, there were more post-show performances from Panitos and a bunch of other people, and Europe Scale 08 and I kind of hung around because we had been told that there was a chance that artists from the Eurovision shows would come and chill at the party instead of going to the Euro Club, which is what Eurovision artists normally do after the Eurovision show. So we stuck around, although we didn't really have much of a choice, because the show ended at 12 midnight, I believe it was. And so we couldn't really get back to the hotel anyway, because, as I said, the entirety of Stockholm shuts down at 10 o'clock at night, so we kind of couldn't make the 45-minute journey from the city centre bus terminal train station Dealey to the hotel, because the buses weren't going to run until 3:45 in the morning anyway. We stayed at the party, although we had intended to anyway. They played some music. My favourite anecdote to regale people with from the after-party, as we've been calling it, was at one point they played Euphoria, the song that won in 2012 that I really resent because I thought the song was okay rather than this earth-shatteringly brilliant best thing since sliced bread song that everyone else seemed to think it was. So they played Euphoria. I was wearing my Eurovision Stetson at the time. I took it off and gave it to Laura. I made her hold the bag that I'd been carrying for most of the evening that had all our stuff in it. Well, all of our paraphernalia, like the Croatian flag and various other things and stuff that we had accumulated, like the tickets to get into the show, for instance. I made her hold that. I flipped my hair forward and started, for the full 3 minutes, doing this sort of Loreen impersonation, and I want to believe that at least someone, for half a second, thought I was her. But I don't think anyone did. But that was fun. So we ended up leaving at about 3:15 in the morning, and then we made the journey back to the central station of Stockholm, and then got the shuttle bus back to the hotel. And then when we got back to the hotel, it was about 4 in the morning again, I want to say? No, it will be later than that. Like half 4 it will have been, I think. So we got back to the hotel. There wasn't really any time for sleep because we had to pack, because our flights home left at, I think, 9 or 9:30 that day. So we had about 5 hours to pack our stuff, get back to the airport and fly home. So Europe Scalaway did most of her packing, I did most of my packing. She came into my room to keep me company once she'd finished packing. She lay down on the bed and fell asleep, and she won't appreciate me sharing this information, but she snores and it is adorable. So she's lying there snoring while I finish packing and finalising our stuff, and then we realise we have enough time left over to nip downstairs and have breakfast. And that's a really good idea, because up until this point, all we'd had to eat was a muffin from Heathrow Airport when we left, I think a quarter pounder from McDonald's just before the jury final on the Friday, and, okay, she'd had breakfast on the Saturday, and I'd only had a pain au chocolat, plus we had dinner at Pizza Hut, and that's all we'd eaten over the course of the couple of days. So we realised it was a good idea to use the time that we had left over to go downstairs, get breakfast on the Sunday morning, because for some reason that hotel serves breakfast from 4 AM, which is really good, because we got breakfast. It was a buffet. We needed to carbo load, or at the very least get something food-wise, because we've been running on empty the whole time. So we had breakfast, went back to our rooms, gathered up our stuff, checked out, went to the airport, and flew home via Oslo, because we had to get a connecting flight for some reason. But I think the funniest part of all this is that we had 3 flights to catch, and 2 of them were reverse delayed. They were made earlier, which only a Scandinavian airline could have reverse delays where the flights leave earlier than expected rather than later. So our flight out to Stockholm from Heathrow was reverse delayed a couple of times, so that's why we had to go at stupid o'clock in the morning, although we would have had to have left it relatively early anyway. And our flight from Stockholm to Oslo was reverse delayed, so the flight left at like 9:30 kind of time, local time that is. And of course, it doesn't take that long to fly from Stockholm to Oslo. It's not even an hour, as I recall. But our flight from Oslo to Heathrow hadn't been reverse delayed, so for some context, our flight to Oslo arrived at about 10:30, the sort of time we arrived in Norway, and our flight home wasn't until about 1:30. So we spent 3 hours just chilling in a Norwegian airport. So that was a fun time. And then we flew home, and then we were back home, and we parted ways at South Midlands service station, because it was easier than driving Laura all the way back here for her parents to pick her up. We just met at a service station instead. We had Subway, and then she went home, I went home, and we had a fantastic time. Well, that's this month's vlog in a nutshell. And I don't have anything else to say, because there's not really any other news to share. My Let's Plays are still ongoing, Master Quest is still happening, Spyro started up recently and is still going. I'm streaming Pokemon Ruby, a lazy nuzlocke thereof, every Wednesday, 10:30 British summertime in the evening. So that's 11:30 Central European summertime, 5:30 American East Coast time, and I think 7:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time, because I know I have like 2 Australian fans, and good day to you. I'm not a good accent person, so I'm not even going to try. And I think that's it, because Eurovision was kind of a huge thing that happened to me this month, so if anything else of importance actually happened this month, I'm probably going to have forgotten about it. So, that's this month's vlog, running a whole 10 minutes longer than I thought it would, or at the very least in terms of recording time. I've no idea how long this will turn out after editing, but that's why I'm recording it on the 28th and uploading it on the 29th, so I have time to faff around and edit and see how this turns out. So I have been, and will continue to be, Tessellating Hexagons, and I'll see you in whichever video of mine you happen to choose to watch next. I thank you for spending this time with me, and I will see you when I see you.